You know, life is just so crazy. I had to share this video because the house that I'm in has such a unique story. In 2020, right in the middle of COVID, I was getting back into real estate. I had taken some time off. I was living in Colorado for about a year, and my wife was pregnant, and we were moving back to Sedona. We moved back to Sedona, having dinner at my mom's house, and in between dinner and talking, I'm like building my website on the side. Like goes live, and I'm like, oh, it's live, like I'm so happy. Not even an hour goes by, and I get a phone call from a nice gentleman from California, and he is interested in getting a house in Sedona. He's looked all over the country and he's lived everywhere, and he wants to move to Sedona, not just buy a short-term rental and do what 90% of people do. He wanted to move. He was in California his whole life, and he thought it was time. So we totally hit it off. He was real estate investor for 40 years and worked in Hollywood as well. And he told me the parameters of his search, and it was starting to be a tough market. COVID had happened, and this is probably, I want to say April or so, April 2020. And we find a house that he likes, and what we do is we immediately submit an offer, all cash, like ready to go, escalation clause, all the fun stuff, if you know what I'm talking about as a realtor during that time. And there was multiple offers, and one was really aggressive that we were competing against because she was an architect and was absolutely in love with this house. I'll share a link or some photos in this video so you can take a look at it. It's a very unique home. It's a Van Ness home built by a famous architect. But yeah, anyways, so, now it's probably June, almost July, and we got the house. We got the accepted offer. We're going through inspections. He had to fly back home to take care of some things. He was really excited, and he's like, really just taking it all in. Lives in a beautiful neighborhood in Sebastopol, and goes for a walk. Same walk he would always do. And he's, thinking really in his thoughts. He's also an author, right? So he's thinking about his next book and thinking about Sedona. And out of nowhere, a guy jumps out of the bushes with a gun and says, "Give me all your money, give me your wallet." First time in his life this has ever happened to him. He doesn't know why, but his instinct kicks in. Maybe not the best instinct, but he grabs the gun from the guy, tackles him on the ground, takes the gun out of the guy's hand, holds him down. They're wrestling for a while, and he gets away. And he calls the police. Ambulance comes, all this stuff, and the wife has no idea what's happening. They take him because he got hit pretty hard with the gun, but it's just a minor wound. Calls his wife from the hospital. "Hey, I got jumped on my hike. I'm at the hospital." And they meet up, and I call him to give him some update. I'm like, "Hey, just want to give you this update. This is how it's going. It's going good." And he's like, "Hey, I'm in the hospital." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" And he told me the story. And he said, he explained how he took the gun and all that. I couldn't believe it. But he was like, "I don't know how, but I just feel like that's really that's the sign I needed to move from where I am." They had a beautiful life, beautiful home in California, but something was pulling them towards Sedona. And he was following his intuition. And he came out here many times and fell in love with Sedona. And he was having doubts about the move, to go from a huge house with an amazing view, lots of land, to a more contemporary, smaller, modern, house that's in a normal neighborhood. And he was thinking about that on his walk, and then that happened. And that was when he really was convicted, okay, this is what I'm doing, I'm moving to Sedona. And over the years, we became such great friends. And as some of you know, I was living in Switzerland the last 2 years, and I moved back to Sedona just recently. And one of the first people I called was my friends here in Sedona, and said, hey, just want to let you know we're going to be moving back, or I'm going to be moving back. Would love to see you guys. And then they said, hey, we're going to be gone. We're going to be visiting family and friends in December, and you can stay at our place. And it was such a blessing because I had sold all my properties here, and I really didn't have any other options. And it's just such a beautiful journey of how it all connects. And I was just sitting here in the house thinking, like, how incredible this life is, and this experience of, talk about full circle, right? Here I am 4 years later, almost 5 years later, sitting in this house, staying in this house, and it's so cool. Anyways, I love sharing these stories, and I'd love to hear your guys' stories, because the last video I posted, you guys really liked it, and I was so grateful for the people that had watched it and who had shared it. I couldn't believe it. You know, the owner of Realty One Group had loved it and shared it and gave me great feedback and lots of support. So I'll keep making these videos and sharing my story. But yeah, I love you guys. If I don't do another video, have a great holiday, and I'll see you next year. Bye.